This is October 16th, year of our Lord 2019. Happy birthday, Uncle Larry. He's in California.
I'm visiting him for his birthday. Wait, is he a Larry?
I like to stay in America.
Are you gonna call him? Is he alive?
Question was, am I going to visit my uncle in California for his birthday? Answer from Mr. Franklin was, no, I like to stay in America. Anyway, you got that, Joe? Here's what we're going to do to get you ready, your little refresher for your quiz that you're about to take. We're only going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 on page 131. Go to 131. We're not doing that whole page. We're just, in the next few minutes, together, David and I, and the rest of us are going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you can handle these, and if what I do with you right now helps you get it, that's the quiz today. The quiz today isn't the writing the equations. It's this. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, not mentally. You must show your work. So x minus 16 equals 8. I love the fact that Elise can right now in her head know the answer, but she has to show the work. By the way, remember, conversion. It's as simple as 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right, ready? X minus 16 equals 8. Hopefully you know that you simply add 16 to both sides. How do you undo what they did to x? Remember, your mission is to find out what x is. They subtracted 16, so you add 16. Make sure you do it to both sides because this guy here has meaning. Equals. You got to treat them equally then. So x equals 24. Can I hear an amen? Amen. I don't feel it. I don't feel it. I thought about it too long. I was going to turn around and go like that. But now that I've said it and thought about it, I'm not going to throw it because it's a feel thing, not so much about being technique. It's a feel. So I'm not throwing it and ruining my reputation for throwing it there right in the middle of the trash can. Okay, next one. Number 2. Negative 330 equals negative 10x. Some of you get tripped up by negative signs, but you won't. What did they do to the x? They multiplied it by?
10.
No, they didn't. Negative 10. So what must I divide by? Negative 10. Because a negative divided by a negative gives you a positive 1x. Whatever I do to one side of an equal sign, I must do to the a negative divided by a negative gives you a positive. Cameron learned in 5th grade that she will never, ever, ever, never, ever write out a multiplication or a division problem where you're multiplying or dividing by 10 or a power of 10. Cameron could look at this and say, I know the answer right now. When you divide by 10, you just take a 0 off. So the answer is 33. She's like, sure, Mr. Franklin. I've never done that since 5th grade. Yes. Listen, I appreciate the compliment and thank you for fixing it. You almost called me the handsome Mr. Schwingman, but go ahead.
No. Okay. How do you?
I'm a little.
You landed that.
There's a little more of me.
You landed that.
See how I got rewarded for not throwing the marker in the trash? I just did a bottle flip, cap flip with the marker and it landed right on me. Okay, go ahead.
How does it have to be on the x side that you use? Because why can't you do it by negative 330? Why can't you divide it by negative 330?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Is this before or after your prayers that you lay there thinking, what can I do? What can I ask tomorrow in algebra? Kira, listen. Kira, I don't do anything because I'm trying to isolate the x, dear. I need to know what x is. X is the variable. It's the unknown. So I have to undo what they did to X.
Oh.
Number 3, 42 equals 1/6 X. Just like you didn't let negatives trip you up, you're not going to let fractions trip you up because fractions are numbers too, right? So they multiplied X by 1/6. What are you going to do? Okay. 1/6 divided by 1/6 is 1. Okay. So if I divide this by 1/6, I just have X. Now this is going to be the tricky part. Remember when you're working with fractions, you never actually divide? Remember those days? You were taught that when you take 42 and divide it by 1/6, you're actually multiplying by the reciprocal. You flip it, flipper. 42 divided by 1/6 is actually 42 times 6. So your answer is 252.
Can you redo that? Like on the other side of that?
I get
that. How do I get rid of the 1/6? Always. If they multiply by something, I divide by that same thing. So just like 4 over 4 is 1, and 800 over 800 is 1, 1/6 over 1/6 is 1. Everybody got that?
Yeah.
So that's how I got down to 1x. Whatever I do to this side, I got to do to that. Brett remembers that 42 divided by 1/6 is actually 42 times 6 over 1, 6. So the answer is 252.
Oh, wow. So, how do you I counted out.
Number 4. 5x minus 12 equals 23. Zacchaeus, pay attention. I'm not doing this for my benefit. I'm doing it so you can ace this quiz. What's an equal 23? Z. 2 steps. What do I got to do with this negative 12? Add 12. To just this side?
No.
Both sides. That leaves me with 5x equaling 35. Now how do I get rid of the 5, Preston? Divide by 5. Both sides? What's 35 divided by 5?
7.
So x equals 7. Hey, don't forget to check, even if it's only mentally. What's 5 times 7?
35.
What's 35 minus 12?
23.
You did it right. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah.
Goal time's in 15 minutes.
I'm scared.
And we still got work to do after this.
We do?
Yeah, bro.
Not open book, it's open brain.
I have a plan.
Hey, David, I'll be back to get you. I think I'm going to safely. If there's not enough, Jordan, I'll be back to give you one because I have a hard time sitting there punching with my track moves. Doesn't matter what period.
We have an extra.
Is 10:35.
You get to take it twice, Noah.
Talking must cease. Plenty of room to show your work. Must show. It says right there in the directions. Yes, show work. Wait. It does not say to check. You should check, at least mentally. Not this one, this one. Whole times in 9 minutes. Old times. 5 minutes. Goal time's in 3 minutes. Hopefully you are approaching the end. As you're checking it over, one quick reminder about what we emphasized yesterday about combining like terms, especially on number 10. Extended goal times in 2 minutes. Reaching the point where they agree or know it. Extended goal times in 2 minutes. Don't fret if you don't get done in the next 2 minutes, you'll finish it in the hall, but we will have to go over yesterday's homework. Yes. 1 minute, 30 seconds. Yesterday's homework out, so we can go as many as we can. If you need more time, you can stay in here or feel free to go in the hallway because we're gonna start yakking, talking. All right, here we go. Yak. Page 126 and 127. It's not going away. We got to face it. We got to try to figure out how we translate from English into algebra ease. Did we go over 7 and 8 yesterday?
Yeah, and 9.
And 9?
Yeah.
Okay, number 10. You had $20 at the beginning of the week. You worked 10 hours during the week. You ended up having 70. Here's how I like to break it down. You can do it any way you want, but I know at the end, I'm going to have $70. True? From what I just read, I'm going to end up with $70. How much did I start with? 20. So if I start with 20, I end up with 70. What information did they tell me? They told me I was going to work 10 hours during that week. And the question they want to know is, how much did I earn per hour? That's what I want to know. I want to know how much did I earn per hour. So I'll let H equal that. Dollars per hour. So I had 20. I'm going to end up with 70, so I must be going to add money to it, right? What am I going to add to it? They told me I make $10 for each
hour.
I'm sorry. They told me I'm going to work 10 hours, and I want to know how much money I'm going to make per hour.
Oh, I did that.
You see that? You sure?
I did that.
So now that I have an equation set up, I'm going to subtract 20 from both sides. 10H equals 50. Divide by 10. H equals 5. Now, when this book was written, $5 was more than minimum wage.
Now it's illegal to get $5.
Now it's like 8 something, but 14 years ago, it was probably at that time still something like $3.85 or something. I used to keep track of all the increments, but you would have made $5 for each hour you worked if you started with 20 and you worked 10 hours and ended up with 70. Does everybody see the process I did?
Yeah, but I did 10 hours plus 20.
Same thing.
Yeah, I know.
You did the same. Did you hear that?
So I did
She
that.
said she did the 10 hours plus 20. Same thing.
Yeah,
All
I know.
right, number 11. Write a word problem that can be modeled by an equation 5x minus 6 equals 9. This might have been the hardest one for you. How many of you, this was the hardest one? Like you had to try to come up with your own scenario that fit that equation. Do you have one? What is it?
Yeah. You get $5 each day for allowance. You spend 6 and have $9 left. How many days of allowance did you get?
You see what she did? The unknown was, how many days am I getting $5 for allowance? So she wrote, she thinks 5, D or X. X would be the number of days. She spent 6, so she has to subtract 6 from whatever she got, and she ends up with $9. Do you get it?
I got you.
Go ahead.
I did n minus 3 plus 2 equals 8 and then added 3. And
Wait. We're on number 11.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I did 18. Never mind.
Okay, I was going to say.
11?
Yeah, 11, you had to come up with your own scenario.
6 subtracted from 5 times number of times.
Right, you were trying to translate still. They wanted you to come up with a real world scenario that fit that equation. Like she said, she gets $5 each day, she spends 6, and ends up with $9 at the end. That means she got $5 for how many days? And she ended up, if she solved it, 3 days. All right, how about you have a coupon. You go to Dairy Queen. You and your friends, you're going to buy 5 Blizzards. Your coupon is $6 off. Something like that. Right? How much was each Blizzard if you spent $9?
Yeah,
Number 12. You need 124 plastic forks for a party. You're having a big bash and you need 124 forks. You go to a store and they've only got 5 boxes of forks left. There's 8 in each box. You're like, no, I got to have these forks today. You had everything ready for the party. Oh no, we forgot plasticware. You run to Dollar Tree. Fine, they each only have 8 in the box, and there's only 5 boxes left. That's not going to do. You need 124. So you start. You know total. You're going to need. Does everybody understand why I do it this way? This is just. You don't have to do it this way. My brain says, all right, I'm almost working backwards. In the end, I'm going to need 124 forks. How many do I have now? I just bought 5 boxes that have 8 in them. How many do I have right now? 40. I have 40. I need, oh no. No homework.
Thank you.
And it's Wednesday, so that's okay.
I messed up on
We'll
my
pick up
math.
there tomorrow.